Unti-unting napapapikit si Arina dahil sa antok habang nag-online classes. At sa kanyang pagtulog, siya'y nanaginip na tila ba napadpad siya sa lugar na kalbo ang kabundukan.
When that rock material is pushed over the edge of the now flattened mountain, it ends up dissolving a lot of minerals into the water, things like iron, magnesium, calcium, and organisms can't tolerate that. So it kills organisms in the stream. And so that material, that water that is now heavily polluted, runs out of the base of the valley fill into streams and eventually into rivers below.
You don't get a sense of the damage tin mining has done to this island from the ground, but take to the sky, and the consequence of the world's demand for tin becomes clear. The landscape scarred by abandoned and active mines.
They also store the mining waste in these huge earthen dams, and they're holding back billions of gallons of toxic sludge that's leaking into the drinking water.
Illegal logging has a devastating effect on some of the world's most valuable remaining forests and the people that live in them. It causes carbon emissions, destroys valuable animal habitats, and at its worst, has kept some poor countries locked in cycles of corruption and poverty. Illegal logging and related trade can involve various activities such as illegal tree felling, theft of wood, smuggling of forest products, tax fraud, as well as violating rights of forest communities. Illegal logging undermines efforts of governments to implement sustainable forest management. A legal and sustainable forestry sector can provide a wide range of benefits to people in developing countries: rural livelihoods, environmental services such as watershed protection, and sustainable resources on which to build long-term economic development.
Audio preview.
Soon after the 1960s, plastic bags exploded in popularity because it was marketed and made as a single-use product. Their cheap manufacturing costs allowed them to become the default choice at supermarket checkout counters. But the problem is, the cheap price doesn't account for the environmental costs of using plastic bags.
Audio preview.
In general, most of these bags make their way into waterways and float along ocean currents until they make it to the 5 oceanic gyres that are created by circular currents. And these plastic bags could take well over 500 years to degrade. The bags don't maintain their original shape, however. Instead, they slowly break down via sun, water, and microbial erosion into smaller bits called microplastics, which can be fatal to marine life.
What happens a lot of the time is it just gets burned. And so those recyclers will take the most valuable parts, they'll reprocess that, anything else they burn. And so that creates toxic smoke right where people live. It pollutes the waterways. You can see tiny little bits of plastic.
Nagpakita si Maria at Jose sa tabi ni Arina upang ipakita ang kasalukuyang pinagdaraanan ng mga tao buhat ng pagkasira ng kalikasan. Pinapakilala ni Maria at Jose si Arina kay Sindra upang ipakita sa kanya ang kalagayan ng ating kapaligiran.
Nakikita mo ba yung nangyayari sa lugar namin? Ang tagal na namin kayong binalaan pero hindi kayo nakinig. Kaya't heto, kami ang naapektuhan.
Ha? Sandali. Ako'y naguguluhan sa mga pangyayari. Ito ba'y pumapatungkol sa kapabayaang ginagawa ng mga tao? Kung gayon, hindi naman lahat ng tao gumagawa ng masama sa kalikasan.
Maliit man na bagay o malaki, kaunti man o marami, hindi matutumbasan ng kahit anong bilang ang epekto nito sa ating kalikasan.
Naiintindihan ko ang iyong pahayag. Ngunit, ako isang hamak na estudyante lamang. At wala akong kakayahan para baguhin ang takbo at talakayan ng mundo.
Mayroon, Arina. Ang inyong tinig ang aming pag-asa. Kayo ang may kakayahan upang mapakilos ang gobyerno sa mga hakbang laban sa pagkasira ng kalikasan. Kapag tinulungan nyo kaming maibalik ang lugar namin, poprotektahan namin kayo bilang kapalit, katulad ng ginagawa namin para sa inyo noon pa lang.
Marahil kagagawa naming mga taga rito ang lahat ng pinagdaraanan nyo ngayon. Ngunit, may isang bagay akong hindi pinagsasang-ayunan sa iyong nabanggit.
At ano iyon?
Hindi lamang kami ang pag-asa, dahil tayo ang pag-asa. upang mapuksa ang mga maling gawain ng ating lipunan.
Pagkagising ni Arina, agad-agad niyang ginamit ang kanyang platform upang maabot ang unit ng pamahalaang lokal upang matugunan ang mga problema na kasalukuyang hinaharap ng indigenous people sa Kaliwa Dam.
Salamat sa pag-reach out sa amin. Nalinawan talaga ako sa kahalagahan ng kalikasan malapit sa Kaliwa Dam. Huwag kayong mag-aalala. Magagawa natin yun ng paraan. Magtulong-tulungan lang tayo. May mga kakilala ako na gustong tumulong.
Nagkaisa ang kabataan at opisyales na gisingin ang mga natutulog na miyembro ng lipunan at hikayatin ang ibang walang pakialam na makiisa tungo sa iisang advokasya. At ito ay ang pagtutuwid ng mga maling nakasanayan habang may oras pa para sa pagbabago.
Climate change protests happening right now in Lower Manhattan. This is video from Chapter 4 showing the massive crowd marching from Foley Square near the courthouses down to the Battery. Among the people flooding city streets were students who were allowed to skip class today to join this cause. Also down there, activist Greta Thunberg, who recently sailed to Manhattan to drive home her points.
So we're taking to the streets to fight for our futures and for those who are suffering from the consequences of climate change today.
Around you. Like look at the climate change. Look at the amount of CO2 in our atmosphere.
I think this movement could become very big, and I think that we have just seen the beginning, because more and more people are going to start realize the emergency of the situation, and they will get angry, and they will want to do something about it, especially young people who will understand eventually.
Single-use plastics. You gotta stop this, guys. This is an epidemic.
There's actually a lot of work that goes into each seedling before they are ready to be put into the ground. And it's very important for us to have people participate and volunteer because tree planting is not possible without this kind of work.
We're human beings. We're also part of the great chain of life. We have to give back our part to nature.
Return to a land called Paraiso, a place where a dying river ends. No birds there fly over Paraiso. No space allows them to endure.
Ako si Francesca Logo.
Joshua Martin Z. Austria.
Shama Grace Escalamiran.
Ako si Sara Normi Limpico. Si Siren Toledo.
Si Karian Ramilo.
Nangangakong tutuparin at gagampanan ang responsibilidad na pangalagaan, mahalin at pagyamanin ng ating kalikasan.
Ay nangangakong tutuparin at gagampanan ang responsibilidad na pangalagaan, mahalin at pagyamanin ang ating kalikasan.
Buong puso akong nangangako na iibigin at paglilingkuran ang Diyos.
Buong puso akong nangangako na iibigin at paglilingkuran ang Diyos at ang kanyang biyayang kalikasan.
Buong puso akong nangangako na iibigin at paglilingkuran ang Diyos at ang kanyang biyayang kalikasan.
Diyos at ang kanyang biyayang kalikasan.
And if empty cans were all I have, what a joy. I never fight to take someone else's coins and live with fear like the rest of the boys. Help me make a stand.